those of you who know baseball, if you hit the ball, if you get on base 4 out of 10 times, that's a 40% success rate. You are in the Hall of Fame.
Mm.
That is success. And so one could look at that and say, I failed 60% of the time. Or one could look at it as I succeeded 40% of the time in a very difficult challenge, which is harder than people think, I guess we'll say. And so here, there's no competition, but it's it's the same. And so as a professional baseball player, you don't say, well, 40% is good enough, 30% is good enough, 20% is good enough. Every day you work, every day you practice, every day you try to get better, but you recognize that you're not going to be perfect. You're never going to walk away 100%. It's just not going to happen. Life is messy. You having a bad day. You're not quite familiar with something. You've stumbled on an area of animal communication that you are not ready for. There's all sorts of things that are going to happen and experiences and challenges you're going to face that are going to be difficult and potentially have moments of failure. But failure is only failure if you stop. So failure is a learning, uh, it's a lesson, it's a teachable moment if you take it and go somewhere with it. And again, it goes right back to that the previous message, which is just relax. You don't want to sit on your laurels. You don't want to get to a place where you're like, oh, I'm good enough. Because that's as soon as you say I'm good enough, you're crap because you're not really engaged in it. You're not present to it. You're not trying to improve yourself all the times and finding those nuances that make you exceptional, like Anna. Anna, as she was saying, this animal communication that you're learning with her isn't, he likes his bowl, oh, he likes his snacks. It's really detailed, specific, helpful, life-changing, sometimes not even just animals, but people on the other side Anna speaks to. So you cheat yourself and you cheat those you're serving if you come to it with the attitude of, that's good enough for government work, as they say.
Mm.
But at the same time, if you beat yourself up because you got it wrong, you're just going to throw blocks up and it's going to get worse and worse and worse. So if you have a bad day, as they say again in sports, is you look at the day if you didn't do well, you look at what you can learn, and then the next day it never happened. It's all new. You take the lessons, and then it's an all new day with new challenges, new expectations. You just move past it.
Nice reset, right? A good
Yeah.
reset. And we get knocked down, even with the imperfections, we get knocked down, and it truly is about getting back up again, which would be really neat. So your path, one way to look at it would be this. And you've heard it before, you're going to hear it again, because there are these different stages, these different levels or different stages. And you've got to give yourself permission, right? The permission to have the time, the permission of the success, the permission of practice, all of these permissions. And the first piece is to learn to listen. Every single one is a language. Learning your language of color. Is red love? Is it blood? Is it relationship? Is it from person on the other side? Is it respect? What is the red? Is it grounding? We could go on. So you've got to learn the color codes. You've got to learn everything in each language. So you're learning to listen to that animal, learning to listen to that language, learning to listen to spirit. So with it, you're learning to listen, right? Quietening the mind, connecting to spirit, connecting to the higher self, connecting to the guides, connecting to the animals, learning to listen. Then you're learning your language. Is another phase of it. You learn to discern slightly different, because sometimes there's perception and discerning. You learn to deliver. These are the basics. Learn to listen, learn the language, learning to discern, and learning to deliver. That's the basic. But then with that, we have another level, which is learning to negotiate and navigate with the animal, learning to resolve a situation for the animal, resolve it for the human, learning to dialogue with the human as well, and having the empathy towards the animal and the human. So all of these would be the next level of animal communication. So you've got to give yourself permission to go, I'm at the level where I'm learning to listen. I'm at the level where I'm delivering and learning to deliver in exceptional circumstances. So all of this plays a big part as you go forward. So number 8 of the challenges, I feel like we've probably enveloped this a little bit, but that would be the not keeping up. Show up. Don't go home and then say, I've missed 3, so I'm not logging on. I've been left behind. Yes, it all builds on each other. Absolutely. And this is your foundational experience. And at the same time, they're kind of independent, right? You could spend every single webinar connecting with them and learning to listen. Every single webinar, learning to listen because you showed up. If you show up all the time and you practice, maybe you're learning to dialogue at that point. But no matter where you are at, every single piece will not just build on each other, but also be independent. So show up for it. You can keep up because we don't know where you're at, how many episodes you've listened to, how many years you've studied this, how many books you've read, how many scenarios and seminars you've been to. We don't know. Show up, participate. You're on this journey. So with that, we talked about celebrating successes. I want to see the successes on the social media page. Put it on there. I did this today. I successfully spoke to a spider and delivered him outside. Vin and Joseph are amazing at it. Stink bugs, spiders, lizards. Speak to them, pick them up, out. It's perfect to keep them safe because our house is full of cats that would be harming them. So it's nice to say we can deliver you outside. Celebrate that success. Celebrate the understanding that you can love the insects as much as you can the furry ones, and celebrate the challenges. This is a huge piece to come to understand, that every part of our path led us to this moment. Celebrate that challenge. If you don't know how to connect and you can't keep the connection, celebrate it because it's teaching you how to keep the connection. Put it all out there. Tell us about it. Help somebody else. So number 9 would be a challenge of assumptions. I could put that silly quote in there now, what assumptions do to us. But the truth is, assumptions make life really difficult, brings in arguments, false ways forward, you name it, can be disastrous with assumptions. As little as it can be helpful to assume you like flowers or assume you like chocolate, that can be amazing. And yet on the other hand, if you assume that all the students are in the vehicles when you leave, you can't do that. You're going to leave some behind. You can never assume that they're going to pick up the correct tack. Assume that they understood what you were saying. Assume that they can relay it back to you accurately. Assume that they're going to retain this information. We can't do any assumptions. So we have to go into all of our sessions for yourself, right? That you understand yourself exceedingly well and have self-awareness, but also understand your beliefs. And you won't know all of your beliefs until you encounter them. So we don't want to enter anything with assumptions. We don't want to assume anything about the people on this call. We don't want to assume about the animals when we enter the conversations. We don't want to assume about us. We don't want to assume that we can keep all of our beliefs to one side or not bring in our experiences. No assumptions. This is about learning how to stay still with your mind, how to not have the preconceived idea, how not to interfere with the session, stay out of the way, how to let the animals speak freely. Everything without an assumption. We can always say, I didn't expect that, even if I didn't have expectations, didn't expect that. That can be a fun thing, but we don't want to assume. So we want to learn not to bring in, for example, in a memory and then go, well, that's in a memory. Maybe it isn't a memory. Maybe that's the guidance you're being given as a form of animal communication, and you have to bring it forward. Why did that memory pop in? Was it my mind that created it, or was it significant in this session? If it keeps on appearing, maybe it's significant. So we don't want to assume it. We don't want to assume if we see something 10 times that it's just us creating it. We don't want to assume we know an animal because we've spoken to them before. So a lot of this is learning how to stay neutral, learning how to be calm, compassionate and connected, and yet neutral with an open mind. So when we notice that we are assuming, we want to put that on our board to go, yeah, I've just found that out about myself, and I'm going to make those changes, that I don't enter these sessions the same way every time, but in fact improve upon how I'm entering these sessions. Okay, number 10, the challenge, vibrational shifts. Vibrational shifts. Well, the vibrational shift of talking to animals could mean that you're suddenly going to hear them all, which would be incredible and phenomenal. The vibrational shift might mean that you can no longer kill them, the little pests that exist, that now the stink bug goes outside. The spider needs to have the glass and take them outside, that you don't want to kill the ants. That what do you do with the moles in the garden? Or in fact, the unwanted birds that are eating all your fruit. Suddenly we've got a vibrational shift. We're inviting in all the animals. They can hear us, we can hear them. But the truth is, we're looking at all kinds of vibrational shifts to say, great quote from Mike Dooley, words have wings and thoughts become things. We're looking at that vibrational shift. What word choices do we use? So we've got our own mind chatter we want to look at. Are we negative, positive? Do we wake up negative, or do we need to get charged up? How do we talk to ourselves? Do we have the self-esteem and the self-worth? Also, how are we talking to the animals? Has to be upbeat, has to be positive, not negative. Have to be positive. They don't need to listen to us otherwise, right? They can cut off this conversation. So a lot of this is reining yourself in and then being positive. Sometimes sitting back, sometimes including what you need to include, and looking at the vibration that we come in with. A fairly neutral, compassionate vibration, sitting back, engaged vibration, healing vibration, choosing our words, because words have wings. Thoughts become things. So we're looking at the mindset in which we come in, positive versus negative. We can feel that if that is weighing on us, heavy on the heart, throat closing, or are we able to go into neutral and then converse with this individual? What are we bringing to the situation? What vibration are we bringing? What emotion are we bringing? And can we keep our own emotions out? So with that being said, we look at limiting beliefs as well. Are we holding ourselves back because we're not perfect? Holding ourselves back because we've never done this before? Holding ourselves back because we can't discern the difference between a spirit guide, a higher self, a person on the other side, etc. No, we don't want to have these limiting beliefs. Do we believe that puppies can't talk, that reptiles have smaller brains, sloths speak slowly? Move all of this out. That I can't do it, but you can. Take away the limiting beliefs. And that can be a constant addressing, literally could be constant to go, I haven't done it for 3 months. Can I get back into it? Oh, I'm finding difficulty connecting. Will I be able to do this? We keep on having to address limiting beliefs and bring up that vibration. Look at how we do it. Do we look at the color of the room that we paint? Is it essential oils that we have on? Do we keep the good music going? Sit out in nature, walk barefooted, surround ourselves with like-minded people, cheerleaders from afar, family that loves us, or people that are going to hug us. What are we doing? Find the vibration that elevates you. So with that, we are looking to be truly, truly authentic, aligning the body, mind, and spirit in order to get this vibrational shift. So we have to look at that, right? To say, is our mind on par with it? What do we need to alter? Is our body feeling it? Is our spirit vibrant? We're starving our spirit. We're taking into account all of these vibrations for ourselves, for the animal, for the person we're with, if we're doing this on behalf of another. Our inner mind is reflected with our outer world. Our outer world is reflected by our inner world. What is it that we're putting out there that we get back? We have this magnetic connection. So therefore, that vibrational shift is huge. And with it, you could start looking at what do you want to bring into your life to keep that higher vibration up. We have the essential oils, and I love having it. And I put it on a timer, actually, and it goes 2-4 hours in the night. And you could look at different ones. Young Living has blends of oils, hugely, huge therapeutic value. And some of the oils that are really fantastic for animal communication would be Believe, right? If you have a problem believing in yourself or believing in what animal communication can do, having restrictions, Believe is a great oil. Magnify Your Purpose, Highest Potential, White Angelica. Sometimes you might need grounding or common sense. These are all oils. Young Living has them all. If you don't know where to find them, go to our website, homepage, click on that Young Living icon. It will take you through. If you're having problems navigating that because you're not a techie, pick up the phone. Vin will help you. And we have multitude of ways to look at the oils to say, yeah, get that oil on you, breathe it in, put it in certain places or back here, which is the opening to spirit. Look at your third eye or your crown chakra. Where can you place this oil to shift this vibrational frequency? Have it there to aid you. So your spiritual health is a huge part of animal communication. Do you receive the body work? Do you look at massage or chiropractic, cranial sacral work? Do you have somebody that works on you healing wise? Are you spending the time meditating or doing the workouts, walking in nature? This is a huge part to find out, where do I create the time or carve out the time to smile with my animals, hugging my turkey, walking amongst the little critters, going out with my puppy. What is it that you say feeds that soul and nurtures this vibration? So lots. There's your challenge that you can get out of the way. And then kind of, I say the bonus challenge, if you want, that we're looking at would be the investment. And your mind might already download something to say, is that financial? But I don't mean that. It can be the physical investment to go out there and mingle amongst the native speakers, of the time, the energy, the commitment, the finances, whatever it might be, helping a rescue, helping a fellow student along. There's all kinds of investments involved. And this is the one you want to address. And you can put that in your goals to say, this is something I want to be working on, and this is how I'm going to do it. So you've got to be brave, show up. I want you to put in the comments when we do comment things. Be active, give it a best go if you can. And the same on the social media page. It would be fantastic for you. So that means you would look at, what can you do on top of what you've done before? What can you commit to? And what can we anchor in? So we have here, there's 11. I'm going to read them out for you. And these might be some of the hurdles, right? So hurdle number 1, hurdle time. Hurdle number 2, low motivation. Hurdle number 3, hypermotivation. Hurdle number 4, resistance. Hurdle number 5, visualization insecurity. Number 6, mindful meditation. 7 is perfection. 8, not keeping up. 9, assumptions. 10, vibrational shift. 11, investment. So maybe you want to pick 1 or 2 that you could put in the comments, in the chat on the side, that you go, these are the ones that really speak to me. And if you put the title versus the number 1 or 2 or 3, put in the title that really spoke to you for this section of our call, because Vin's going to take you on a mindful meditation to anchor in to this journey. And so once you've typed it in for everybody on the call, see which one really spoke to you. You could have 1, 2, or 3, just type it in. And then Vin's going to take you on a beautiful, mindful meditation journey to anchor this in. All right, Vinny, over to you.
All right. I'm gonna leave the video off. You can turn your video off or leave it on, whatever you'd like to do. It's up to you. And if you haven't done one of my meditations before with me, there's nothing you have to do or know or be. Just enjoy the journey. You can keep your eyes closed gently or leave them open if you'd like. And be in a comfortable position, but not a position where you might fall asleep. Because, well, I mean, I guess if you really wanted to go to sleep, you could do that. So think about what you wrote down just a moment ago and keep that in the forefront of your mind. And so I'd like you to take a deep breath in and exhale and relax. Relaxing your body, feeling any areas of your body that feel tense or painful, stressed, uncomfortable. Take a deep breath into that area. Hold it for just a moment and relax. And exhale. Seeing what's in your mind. Bring your attention to your thoughts. You are not your thoughts. You have them. So focus on them for just a moment, not too heavily or intently. Just observe them. What are you thinking? Notice it, let it drift off. And take a deep breath in. Relax, exhale, and let the thoughts go. And just be present now. And just be here. If your mind drifts someplace, just gently bring it back. If your attention drifts off to something, just gently bring it back. For many of us, you can expect your mind to drift. You can expect your body to fidget. It's normal. If it doesn't, that's fantastic. But if it does, that's normal. Just be here right now. Again, as I mentioned earlier, that's a gift. To be in a position as a human on this planet where all you have to do in this moment is just be. It's a gift. So accept it, enjoy it. It is a gift from your highest self, from spirit to you. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And now I want you to see the word or words that you wrote down. Time, resistance, perfection, limiting beliefs, ups and downs, belief in myself, perfectionism and resistance, vibrational shifts, investment, committing time, self-doubt, motivation. Whatever you wrote down, see it in front of you. See the words if you can, or feel the words if you can't see them. However you can connect to those words. Maybe there's a feeling that comes with them. Maybe there's a sound. They're here for a reason. Those words are in front of you, not as a block, but as a lesson. It's here to teach you something about you, your journey in animal communication, but most likely, more importantly, your journey through this life. Your feelings about this block, your ideas, your opinions about the challenges that you have. They come with assumptions. Time. I don't have enough time. Well, what assumptions are you making that you don't have enough time? If you had a court date tomorrow at 9 a.m., would you say, oh, I don't have any time for this? You might think that. You might be frustrated, but you would carve out the time. You'd be forced to make time. But you can't make time. You would be forced to make it a priority over other things. And so, what assumptions are you making about your life? Perfectionism. What assumptions are you making about you? That you have to be perfect. Are you a failure if you're not perfect? Will you not be accepted? Will you be mocked? Will you not enjoy it if it's not perfect? What assumptions are you making? Self-doubt, belief in yourself. What assumptions are you making about that? Why do you have to believe in yourself anyway? Maybe we just do. Maybe we don't believe in ourselves in those moments of doubt and we just do anyway. And we build. We build past the fear. We build past the doubt by just doing it anyway. Maybe the assumption is you have to be a certain person, certain way in order to be successful. And you're not that person. But how do you know? A master at something doesn't feel like a master. They feel like a person who's done a lot of work to get where they are, but they don't suddenly feel like they're a different being. They just feel like the person they were with a skill set that they've practiced. Maybe the message for you is gratitude. Rather than focusing on the challenges, the blocks, focus on the gratitude that you're in a place where you can actually study, practice, enjoy something you enjoy, something you love. And there is no need to be perfect. There is no need to question if you're good enough. There's no need to worry about time. Do you make time to watch TV or listen to the radio or read a book? Well, you love those things. This is something else you love. What other lesson is it here to teach you? Ask, ask the words. Why are you here with me today? What is it that you have to teach me? What is it that I need to know about myself, about how I am in the world, and what I'm keeping myself safe from? What am I truly getting by believing in this limitation? Maybe safety, maybe comfort. Just let the answer come. And then ask what it's keeping from you by surrounding yourself with this limitation, by injecting this limitation into your life. What is it keeping from you? And what if it wasn't there? See the vision of yourself if you can. What if that limitation wasn't there? What if you had enough time? What if you believed in yourself? What if you didn't have to be perfect? What would the experience be now? As you ponder that, I want you to see the words getting smaller and the positive nature of not going down that road of limitation gets bigger. And the words get smaller and the potential gets bigger. And that potential goes into your heart and begins to fill you with this positive energy. It begins to fill you with this motivation, with this capability, joy, and love, knowing that this journey will teach you many good things for your life, not just animal communication, but the road will be fun. challenging at times, but fun. There's no fun if there's no challenge. You wouldn't go to see a movie about somebody who's just eating lunch. What's the fun in that? We want the conflict. We want the challenge. And we approach it with joy. We approach it with excitement, like a child climbing the monkey bars for the first time. We're excited. We're not worried if we can't do it. We want to jump at the opportunity to try, see where this adventure takes us. So as this energy fills us with joy and enthusiasm and excitement, possibility, we remember to approach it and to approach everything with that childlike curiosity and joy. Doing for the sake of doing, being for the sake of being, whoever we want to be, whatever we want to do, exploring, putting on a different hat, trying a new flavor of ice cream, whatever it is. We do it with love and joy and excitement and enthusiasm. So fill yourself up. Take a deep breath in. Fill yourself up with that enthusiasm, that joy, that excitement, and exhale. Feel the change. Notice these words are tiny now. They're not even, they're barely even visible. Take another deep breath in. Enjoy the excitement, the exhilaration, the energy, the enthusiasm, and exhale. And know that the next time this challenge might come to you, that all you have to do is just focus on the excitement, the joy, the fun, and watch as this block just fades away. Take one more deep breath in and exhale. And when you're ready, join us back here in the group. And how was that for everyone? Let me know in the chat if you how you felt about it and what you experienced if you want, or you can raise your hand or unmute yourself and let us know if you have anything you'd like to share. Welcome lightness, says Karen Denny. Great. Amazing. Awesome. And I even got star eyes. I love it. Great. I always love your meditations. Thank you, Daniela. Joy. Thank you, Betsy. Good. Much needed grounding. Yeah, we can forget that, right? We get caught up in life and forget to just ground. Beautiful, calming, and assuring. Great. Yeah. So hopefully this helped, not just with the animal communication, but perhaps something in your life. It tends to run through more than one area of your world, and it tends to be the main thing that stops you from everything. How you do one thing is how you do everything. I mean, it says it released tensions up and down the spine. Great. Got a meditation massage. I like it. All right. Well, I hope you all enjoyed it very much. I did. I did. It was great. Anna, back over to you to wrap it up.
Was that a hint, Vinny, to wrap it up?
Well, it is 9 o'clock
I
after
know, because
nine,
did
so
you see the rest of my class, which is probably another 2 hours that I created today that I'm looking at it going, oh, there's probably another 2 hours. I think I was overzealous.
yeah, save
So
it for the next.
yeah, exactly. So the good news is we've got a lot of exercises to be supportive moving forward. And we will move into mind awareness and body awareness and emotional awareness, self-awareness and spiritual awareness. And that's all that I planned for this session, which clearly when you hear it, you go, okay, there's a lot more that we can address. But suffice to say that we've got a great lineup for the next webinar where we come together. There will be 12. So if you're wondering, I'm going to take this as the introductory webinar, but ultimately we'll have 12 webinars so that we can get all of the chapters in that we want to get into. And so you need to know moving forward, where are we here moving forward? We're going to enter into these animal communication sessions. So we've kind of recapped, we've gone out there and started from the beginning again, as well as added and enhanced and done new things for you. And so the focus of 2024 will be preparations into the animal communication sessions for different situations, right? So we wear different hats of animal communication, and it could be as you're going into a fun one and a birthday party, you're looking at the physical ailments and elements and supporting the veterinarian rehab. Could be animals in transition because they've lost somebody or they're moving across country. Animals transition over to the Rainbow Bridge. Oh my goodness, that phone's going hot suddenly. Animals on the other side, animals in rescue situation, council of animals. Then you're looking at reincarnation, you name it, all of these pieces. How do we enter and prepare for these different situations and scenarios? So I'm going to address as many as I can over the next few months. So with that, it also means what essential oils would be handy, the timing, type of consult, personal preferences, you name it, energy healing, when do we activate, when do we not? And then, of course, it's about entering these sessions. And we touched upon questions in the last year to really have sheets of questions for different scenarios. So now it means when we wear the hat, what kind of energy are we bringing to the situation? When do we step out? When do we stay in? When do we consult with the client? What kind of delivery do we have there? And that's a big focus, is the deliverance of how to deliver this information, which seems to be equally as important as receiving and perception and navigating, negotiating, but the deliverance is everything. People will hear us or not hear us. We either have compassion or we become secretaries. And so this whole focus will be how to enter, how to conduct, and how to deliver. That's what we're going to be working on for everybody. So meanwhile, that's that piece. Meanwhile, I've put 2 exercises on the group in the Facebook area for you to focus in on. One would be the goals, and the second one would be a practice with your own personal animals so that you can experience that and your impact and their impact on you. So you've got 2 exercises for everybody to do that we didn't necessarily get to during this evening. And then you know where we're going to start off when we come back together as well. So hopefully this has been a great springboard, good foundation to get you up and running again. And it allows you to prepare for what yet is coming. Let me open it up though. Any questions before I close? Let me open it to see what we're closing with. Any question from tonight? I'm not your techie, but I will do other things. Are we good? So I'm expecting perfection. just joking. Yes, joking. Not really, sort of joking. But so now you know we're going to show up on the classes. We're going to practice as much as we can. And so why do I end this way in a way? Because over the long time of me teaching, I've certified a few people. Only a handful of people have gone out certified. And while clearly baseball, they accept 40% as a good mark, I'm looking at 90. And maybe baseball, when they're batting that ball, it's okay. But when you've got an animal's life in your hand and somebody's going to euthanize on your say or sell on your say, we need a high percentage of success rate. So for those seeking to become certified in Anna Twinney's animal communication class, we're looking at a 90%. You should say 100, right? Because death or alive 100, but 90% is pretty accurate. And then the rest would be in the way you deliver anyway. So we're looking at that piece to come to full fruition. And that means practice, lots and lots and lots of practice and concrete pieces coming out. And the difficulty I found over the years that people have is they're definitely receiving, definitely dialoguing. And when it comes down to specific questions, that's when it gets a bit tricky. When you start to ask, where is the pain? What's caused it? What's effective? What's not? And it's the detail. That's where people have a few more hurdles to overcome. And we're looking at, for a professional animal communicator, they've got to be able to change behavior, support in a diagnosis for the veterinarian, be 90% plus accurate, have a lot of experience, and ideally, this number, 1,000 case studies. Because if we have 15 topics, right, you're only really looking at 20 per topic or so. I know that comes to 200, I get that, but you're looking at 20 topics or so, and you're starting to get into it. So you really want 1,000 before you go pro. And that sometimes takes a few years to get under your belt, because you've got to have all of these scenarios, right? So therefore, yes, I do certify people. And yes, you'd want to be at the level where somebody would want to call you and get accurate information. And we can do that. We can achieve that. And I'd love to see more people going out with certificates if that is your choice and your wish. So if you're thinking about it here, I'm giving you a few more answers and solutions to be able to make your dreams come true. I look forward to having you back over the next few months. We'll keep you posted on the web. If you only see 10, don't think it's a mistake. We'll add some more in, don't worry. But 10, it would have been evened out quite nicely, and we can always prolong it into January if we need to add a couple more. But know that they're all on the calendar. So if they're not yet on the Facebook page, they're on the calendar. You'll find it there. Mark your diaries so that you know when to show up. And I look forward to seeing you on Facebook doing the exercises. I look forward to seeing your successes and the triumphs that you have and the celebrations, and seeing you on the calls coming up. Okay. So I hope this, like I said, I hope it's a great platform today. I've been exceedingly thorough, as has Vin. And I find that this container that we're creating is the answer to the success moving forward. Please don't sit there going, I didn't get a chance to talk to an animal. I've just added 2 more sessions in. So don't think it's been taken from you and you wanted to dive deep today and we didn't manage to do that. We created an incredible container and we've added more in. You will only win. You'll only walk away with more. All right. So you can unmute yourself. For some, this is the best part of the night, saying good night, John Boy. But it's become that. And I look forward to seeing you wherever I might be, hearing from you, seeing your beautiful, pretty faces over the year. And when you unmute yourself, we will say good night, everybody. So good night. Have a great rest of your month. And I will see you. I believe the next one, it's normally Carolina.
Thank you too.
Thank you. You're normally the one going, see you on this date.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. Let's see. I have it right here.
Good night. For you.
May 22nd.
That's it. See you May 22nd, everybody. Good night.
Good night.
Enjoy your animals. Give them a hug.